Hey guys, it's your girl Bella, how are you? So in today's video, I will walk you through everything you need to know before applying for a credit card with JPMorgan Chase. Now some of the rules I will go over are actually listed in their terms and conditions, while other rules are kind of just based upon data that has been collected by experts in the credit card rewards space. So the first rule I want to talk about is the infamous 524 rule. Now if you're not familiar with what this rule is, it's basically a metric that Chase uses when they're deciding on whether to approve or deny your current credit card application. So if you have been approved for 5 or more credit cards with any lender in the last 24 months, your current credit card application with Chase will automatically be denied, regardless of income or credit scores. So if you are someone who's looking to get into or wants to get into earning credit card rewards, definitely keep this in mind before submitting any credit card applications. I would highly suggest looking at the Chase credit card portfolio first to see if they have any cards that might be of any interest to you, and apply for those first before moving on to any other lenders like American Express, Citibank, etc. And the next rule you should know before applying for any credit cards with Chase is they only allow 2 credit card applications every 30 days. So if you do exceed this number, those additional credit card applications will automatically be denied. So the next thing you should know before applying for a credit card with Chase is that they don't limit the number of cards you can be approved for, but they do limit how much credit they will extend to you. So for example, if you currently have 2 credit cards with Chase and they each have a $10,000 credit limit, you now have $20,000 worth of credit with JPMorgan Chase. Now, if you apply for a 3rd credit card and that credit card application is denied, and when you receive your denial letter, if it mentions something to the effect of you've reached your maximum credit limit with this lender, that basically means your credit profile was really good, but they aren't willing to extend any more credit to you. But all is not lost. You do have the option to call the reconsideration line to have your available credit on one of your other cards moved over to this new credit card so you can still be approved and earn that sign-on bonus. But the key is you have to have credit available on one of those 2 cards. So if those cards are maxed out, this option won't be available. But it is great that Chase does give you that option. And if you want to learn more about the reconsideration process, I'll put a link above and in the description box below. So the next rule that Chase has is related to their Sapphire credit cards. So Chase currently has 2 Sapphire credit cards open to new applications, and those are the Sapphire Preferred and the Sapphire Reserve. Now, if you currently hold or are the primary on one of these cards, you would not qualify to apply for the other. So for example, if you currently have the Sapphire Preferred and are interested in getting the Sapphire Reserve and you actually applied for it, that application would be denied. But there is a workaround if you really truly wanted to get that card. You could actually upgrade your Sapphire Preferred to the Sapphire Reserve. The only catch is you would not qualify to earn the actual sign-on bonus. So I'm sure your next thought is, well, let me downgrade my Sapphire Preferred to the Freedom or Freedom Unlimited, or let me just cancel that card altogether. Well, unfortunately, Chase has a rule to stop you there as well. So the next rule is you can only earn a sign-on bonus on a Sapphire product once every 48 months. So I'm going to go back to the Sapphire Preferred example. So let's say you actually were approved for this Sapphire Preferred back in 2017, and that is when you got your sign-on bonus. Now fast forward, we are in 2019, and now you want the Sapphire Reserve. Now you could technically downgrade the Sapphire Preferred to something else, so you could be approved for the Reserve, but you would not qualify to earn the sign-on bonus. In order to qualify for the sign-on bonus, you'd have to wait until 2021 to qualify. So as you can see, Chase has many rules around their Sapphire products, primarily because they're trying to discourage people who churn and burn through credit cards, meaning they're applying for credit cards just to get the sign-on bonus and then they're moving on to the next product. Now, Chase did not always have these rules in place. There was a point in time where you could actually have the Chase Sapphire Preferred and apply for the Chase Sapphire Reserve and have both cards at the same time. Now, the Chase Sapphire Reserve was definitely a game changer for Chase, and they released this card in 2016, and it was by far the hottest card on the market. The sign-on bonus was 100,000 points, and it offered the $300 travel credit, trip protection, extended warranty, so on and so forth. And there was just a frenzy to apply for this credit card. So much so that Chase actually ran out of the metal that was required to make the physical credit cards. So they temporarily had to issue plastic credit cards until they could actually catch up with the demand. Now, I'm sure this sounds great for business, but after the first fiscal quarter of having the Sapphire Reserve on the market, Chase took a hit of about $300 million to their actual profits. So as this trend started to continue, they slowly but surely started to add a few more restrictions when it came to this Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now, the next set of rules that Chase has is related to their co-branded credit cards with Southwest and Marriott Bonvoy. Now, in regards to the Southwest credit cards, there are 3 personal credit cards you could choose from. Now, if you currently have a Southwest credit card or have earned a SignOn bonus on a Southwest credit card, you would not qualify or be approved for a new Southwest credit card. And same thing applies for Marriott Bonvoy. If you currently have a Marriott Bonvoy credit card and have earned a SignOn bonus on a Marriott Bonvoy credit card in the last 24 months, you again would not be approved for a new Marriott Bonvoy credit card. Now, with the Marriott Bonvoy credit cards, there is another layer of complexity because of the Marriott Ritz-Carlton Starwoods merger that occurred a few years ago. Now, because of the merger and the new rebranding, there are now Marriott Bonvoy credit cards available both with Chase and American Express. So what is happening is Chase and American Express have actually decided to join forces, if you will, to kind of make sure that people are not churning and burning through the Marriott Bonvoy credit cards. So what this means is if you currently have a Marriott Bonvoy credit card with Chase, it could potentially impact your ability to be approved for a Marriott Bonvoy credit card with American Express. So what I've done is put a link to an article below to kind of give you a cheat sheet to let you know or give you an idea of what to expect if you are in the market to apply for a Marriott Bonvoy credit card. In order to help you keep track of all of the rules and restrictions, I've actually created a free PDF guide that you can download and keep this handy once you are ready to apply for a Chase credit card. Now, if you are interested in getting this guide, I'll put a link to that in the description box below. So the last rule that I did want to mention today is not brought up in other videos, so I wanted to make sure that I talked about it today. Now, if you are someone who had an account with Washington Mutual and you actually defaulted on that account, it is possible you may be blacklisted now by Chase. Now, this is because Chase actually acquired Washington Mutual back in 2008. Now, even though that account may not be on your credit report, Chase may have you on a blacklist. Now, I'm not saying you'll definitely be denied credit, but if you do receive a denial letter and it mentions something about having a poor history with this lender and you've never had an account with Chase, it definitely means that old account with Washington Mutual is coming back to haunt you. So make sure to keep that in mind when you submit your credit card application. Now, if you did like this video, make sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Bye.